We're with Jaysen Numez, one of the senior captains on the Eastern Connecticut men's basketball team. Eastern getting ready for its season opener for 2018-19 this Friday at the WPI tournament. Jay, you guys have been practicing. It's a long preseason for basketball. It's about a month. You guys getting pretty anxious with the season opener right around the corner. You're getting anxious to get into some real competition?
Yeah, we're getting very anxious. Practicing versus each other every day against the same guys, your teammates. College basketball is finally here, so we're all excited for the first game of the season.
You guys, this is your fourth preseason. You go into this season without Tarchie Brown, who was a first-team All-American. Is the preseason taking on a different tone this year without Tarchie and Colin Jordan and some of the guys you've been with for 3 years?
I would say it's taking a good tone this year. Me, Carlos Gonzalez, Leonel Hyatt, all the upperclassmen. We're trying to demand what they demanded for us when we were underclassmen. For overall, the preseason has been going real good. We're just trying to get in. Coach Geithner always says, when we come into practice, this day we got to get this much better. Every day we come in, we have to get a little bit better. So that's the mindset that we've been preaching, so that's what we've been trying to live up to.
Yeah, I mean, in your career for 3 years, you've won 3 regular season championships in the conference, and you won the last 2 Little East tournament championships as well. How difficult is it going into every game knowing that everybody's throwing the best they got at you?
It's difficult. Early in the season, I wouldn't say it's difficult because we're ready to go too. We're always excited about the season. It's the beginning of the season, so everybody's going to be ready. It's hard down the stretch when we're at Saturday down at UMass Boston away when we got to get the spirits up. So everybody's coming for us, and we got to understand that. We always got to play our best games. We got to understand that if somebody beats us, it might be their Super Bowl for the whole year. So once we understand that, we'll be good.
Well, has it been difficult going into the Little East tournament for 3 years, being the #1 seed, with everyone gunning for you, even though you are at home, which is a help?
Yeah, being at home is a very good help. But knowing they're coming for us in the LEC tournament, we know it's go time. So yeah. I wouldn't say them coming at us because we know we're coming at them. So I wouldn't say it's that hard.
Would you feel that you guys are, when you go into virtually every game you played, you feel you're as good or at least maybe even better prepared than your opponent? You feel comfortable with what you know about the opponent?
Yeah, going into every game with the coaching staff that we have the best coaching staff. They prepare us day in and day out through film sessions and scouting reports, and they let us know what the other team is, what their game plan is, and what ours needs to be. So they put us in the best position that we can be going into every game.
And we talked about this beforehand, but over the last 3 years since you've been here, sometimes people on the outside, we look at warm-ups and we see us Eastern warming up and the opponent, and we're saying, look at the opponent. I mean, they're really, really talented. You guys walk out on the floor and you beat them. Why is that? Is it preparation, a lot of it?
It's a lot of preparation, and it comes down to heart. Our team always, ever since I've been here, has a lot of heart. We play hard for each other, and the chemistry over the 4 years, we all like each other. We always are with each other. We do everything together. So a lot of the chemistry off the court turns into on the court chemistry, and we know that this person's going to be here at the exact moment, and we just play for each other, and we play for the coaching staff, and we just try to do our best every game.
You were a starter at East Catholic. You guys won a state championship. I think it was your junior year.
Yeah,
correct?
My junior year.
And then you come to college and you've come off the bench in every game that you've played. Coming from a great high school career, was that difficult maybe your first year, or were you just thankful to be on the team?
My freshman year coming into college, I was just fighting for a spot. I walked on here as a freshman. So I did everything I could just to get a jersey at that point. Yeah. So once I got the jersey, and I was pretty much like 15th man on the roster, sitting on the bench. then that just motivated me day in practice. Practice were my games, so I turned practice into my games for myself, really.
Well, your brother played here for 4 years, had a great career. I think he played on the conference tournament team that was the only undefeated team in conference history at 14-0.
Mm-hmm.
He went to a couple NCAA tournaments. He won a couple of Little East championships, regular season, and postseason tournament. Did he have any influence in you coming here?
I would say he did have a lot of influence on me coming to Eastern. I always came here to support him, watch his games, any games I could, because it was also during my season.
Yeah, right.
And I always would talk to him like, how's Eastern? How you like it? He always had positive words about the campus, the classes, the basketball program. So I wanted to stay close to home. So he played a big impact on my decision to come to Eastern.
Well, he was. I know he's on the police force now. Was he a social major?
Yes.
And is that what you are?
Yes.
Are you going towards the same kind of line of work?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's what I'm aiming for. As I graduate, I'm going to try to get into corrections just like he did to start it off.
Well, before you actually graduate and you get out and have to start full-time work for a living, what would be the ultimate this year in terms of leaving the program in your final season? What would be the ultimate goals to accomplish?
The ultimate goals, I would say, start off to win the regular season. We want to host the LEC
Conference,
tournament, conference tournament, and I would say we got win the LEC tournament for the third year in a row.
Yeah.
We won it 2 years in a row so far, so we're just aiming for that third one.
It's only one other team has ever won 3 in a row. It's got to be a hugely difficult task to win 3 conference championships
For
in
sure.
a row. Just talk about the last 2 that we've had against Keene. I mean, they've just been absolute all-out wars. I mean, those games for a long part of both those games could have gone either way. What put Eastern over the top in both those games in winning
Both those
them?
games, we had both of them were great games.
Yeah, phenomenal.
One of them was the greatest game I've ever been a part of. We always preach about in practice and locker rooms getting the 50-50 balls. So that means like if a ball's on the floor, we have to be the first ones on the floor. We have to dive on it. Either it's a tip rebound, we have to get those 50-50 balls. And it turned out in both those championships, late in the game, we got every single 50-50 ball.
Yeah.
So that turned out to be real good for us and a reason why we were able to go back-to-back LEC champions.
Well, people say in the last few years that Eastern has really, in a sense, lived and died with the three-point shooters. I mean, you guys, between you, Corey Muckle, Jay Colligan, you got some phenomenal three-point shooters on this team. But it takes more than being a good three-point shooting team, right? Because the whole team could be off one day, but you're not necessarily going to lose. Talk a little bit about the other aspects of this team other than just three-point shooting.
Other aspects of the team, I would say we strive on defense.
Yeah.
Coach Geithner always stresses defense. The first 2 weeks of practice, we stress defense. So I would say going into the game, if we execute our defensive plan and we hold a team to less than whatever their normal
Average,
shooting
yeah.
percentages are, we have a good chance to win the game. So, and then once we get stops on the defensive end, it lets our transition go. So once we're in transition, there's a lot of options. Like you said, we have got a lot of great shooters. We have Jay Colligan, we have Carlos Gonzalez, Corey Muckle, that they could shoot the ball. So if they can't help off them, there's a lot of gaps that we could attack. And then we also have Leonel Hyatt, where you could dump it down to him and he could finish a layup. Jake McCarthy.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of options on the offensive end.
Well, I know when you go into a game a lot of times, Coach Geithner's looking at you and saying, hey, we need you to play some defense. But you've gone out, and in addition to your defense, you've gone out on the floor and you have hit some huge threes. Do you think when you get out there sometimes you get a little bit more room because the defense is sort of looking at the other people, our other three-point shooters?
Yeah, I would say so. They have to guard our perimeter guys. Like, they're knockdown shooters, so it does give me a little bit extra space. And I think those guys, because without them, they would be on top of me, so maybe I would have never got that shot. So yeah,
But you've been playing point guard for throughout high school and college, right?
yes,
You seem like when you're out there, you know what you want to do with the ball when you get it. Isn't that your job? In addition to defense, isn't that your job to get the ball in the hands of the people?
yeah, for sure. Coach Geithner always stresses what our roles are on the team. So I know when I go in there, I gotta execute the offense, and I gotta make sure, hey, we don't got it in transition, so we gotta bring it out and we gotta execute. And I also gotta know like time and score and when to do this and when to do that. So yeah, playing point guard all 4 years of high school also helped me coming into here.
So Eastern Connecticut opens up its 2018-19 season at the WPI tournament. That will be Friday, November 16th. They'll be taking on first-time opponent William Patterson University. Jay, thanks for being with me. Good luck this year.
Thank you, I appreciate it.